What's going on, everybody? Today's episode, vlog, whatever, is gonna be a little bit different. You know, we started this whole thing so that people could understand what all we were going through. And, you know, just recently we had a family member, tell us, hey, nobody really knows what's going on with Harper. Everybody knows that, she's got some heart problems and stuff like that. But I think what we're gonna do kind of in segments is explain, from the beginning what, how this all came about. It all started 20 weeks, went for our anatomy scan in Lubbock, just an everyday normal thing, Would have never guessed that anything was ever going to come up. The nurse that was actually doing the ultrasound spent a lot of time on the heart. We were there for, probably an hour, and she spent a big chunk of that just looking at the heart. And so, at first we were like, well, whatever, like, it's not a big deal.
I felt like something was wrong, just me being me, and Dylan was like staying so calm and was like, it's okay, like everything's fine, kind of deal. Like whenever the lady was like, let me go see if I can get someone to help me look at something, and then that's whenever I think we knew that there might be something wrong. But like never in a million years would we have ever thought that it would have been like as extreme as what we have going on.
Yeah, so she ended up going to get some other nurse to come in and, work on the ultrasound, and again, another 20 minutes or so, they both just step out of the room. So we're just sitting there, trying to figure out what's going on. And then, another 10 minutes go by, and then the doctor comes in, and kind of just sits us down and was like, all right, well, here's what we're seeing. And at that point, they didn't see a aorta at all, so like zero aorta. And he flat out told us, yeah, your baby's not gonna make it.
If it's what he thought it was, in his defense, but. So,
it was like we were just shocked, like didn't know, how do you go from thinking everything's going to be okay, it just being another day, and then being told that, there's a very good chance your baby is not going to make it.
Yeah.
So it was very, gut-wrenching.
It was a hard day.
To hear that, and just how do you go about living your everyday life thinking something like that, that no matter what you do this baby's not going to make it. So that was very hard to accept, and I don't think either of us accepted it for, at least a couple days that, it was, that was going to happen. And
Dylan was like such a rock though. I didn't handle it either of us handled it, we didn't handle it very good at all, but Dylan was a rock. Whenever I was mad and I just kept questioning why us, I felt like we had done everything right, and I just kept asking God, why us, and Dylan just kept my faith so strong through it all and just kept saying, everything happens for a reason, and, we have to trust his plan, and that's really hard, y'all. It's so hard, and then to, see your spouse struggle at the same time, but then, remain so strong through it all it's a different feeling, and it's a really hard thing to go through. And then they told us that they were gonna refer us to Houston at Texas Children's Hospital, which is the #1 baby's heart hospital, that's the easiest way to put it, in the country. But our appointment was in 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks like, we were under the impression that our baby wasn't gonna make it, and I had to all of a sudden get an amniocentesis and figure out if there's any like genetic disorders. And we went and did the test, and then the thing that was like that like brought us back to reality after all of the 2 weeks of us like being pissed off, upset, why, and then trying to come to grips with it. Then he said, basically, you know, well, let's schedule another appointment, another ultrasound before, like the day before you go to Houston, just to make sure you don't waste a trip if the baby isn't alive anymore. And like, that was so hard to swallow because, you know, nobody wants to hear that. Like, and us, like, not saying like we're incredibly young, but like, no matter how old you are, like, nobody can handle that kind of news with grace, I don't think. And I'm not above admitting that I was like pissed off about that. And so then obviously we went to the appointment, and then and she was alive, but they just kept telling us, you know, like, be prepared, like, she might not make it through this pregnancy. Always pay attention to her movements. And so I'm like constantly like just so stressed out every single day at work and like everyday life, like making sure that she's still alive. And that's something that's extremely hard to go through, and I can't like fully explain it. He can't fully explain it, and it's something I don't wish on anybody at all. But it was the hardest 2 weeks of our life, that's for sure. So far.
Yeah, so far. You know, during those 2 weeks, you know, you have the time to, at least I did, I had the time to, you know, finally sit down to myself and, you know, think about what was really going on, and, you know, try and stay positive, and then to have the doctor again, you know, say, hey, let's get an ultrasound the day before so you don't waste a trip. I mean, so you try and stay strong for those 2 weeks, and then you just get, you know, kicked to the dirt again, you know, saying, well, we still don't think, you know, don't waste a trip, you know. That's it's rough, and, you know, it took a toll on both of us because, you know, I can tell she was upset, and, you know, trying to stay strong even though you have the same questions, you know, being pissed off. But it would have been a worse situation if we were both pissed off. So, you know, sometimes people don't understand, you have to sacrifice some of the things that you're feeling to not make the situation worse. And that's kind of where I was at, was that if we were both pissed off at the world, you know, what's that going to do between us? You know, am I going to jump down her throat? Is she going to jump down mine? So, you know, you just got to go with the blows and
trust God through it all. Like, it sounds easy, and whenever you grow up, you always say, like, God has a plan and trust the process and you're not in control. But until you've actually walked this walk, and we haven't even experienced it all. Like, we are nowhere near even in this yet, but like, until you've gone through like something like those 2 weeks, you know, like, your marriage is tested, but like your faith is tested as well. And like, you have no other option than to trust God's plan. And if you're a control freak like I am, like, that's incredibly difficult. Like, I've always been able to trust his plan, but like, it's different. Like, it is truly different whenever you are faced with it. Like, you don't have an option. And like, I think that my faith has grown even more throughout this, just in this first beginning, or the beginning of this. And then our marriage, I feel like our marriage has gotten so much stronger because we've had to literally learn how to rely on each other more than a normal couple has had to in their first year and a half of marriage. And so in all of the negativity, all of the darkness of all of this, like, Dylan and I have really tried to find the light in this. Like, what is the benefit of this? Like, you know, so that we're not just thinking this is a terrible situation. Like, we constantly are trying to find God through it all, and our purpose and why this is happening to us, and just trying to be at peace, to be honest. I mean, that's the main thing, really.
And in a situation like this, that's all you I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, look at peace in any of the scenarios that may come out of this, because you don't know, so why stress about one thing and then something else happen, and then you be just so confused and everything. So from the beginning, for us, we've had to find peace, and in a situation like this where it's the life of your daughter or baby, whatever, that's a tough pill to swallow, and it's not easy, but I think we're doing good now.
We're doing good. Everybody knows that. I mean, here we are, like, at 37 weeks, so that was 17 weeks ago, and we're only, like, getting better with that, obviously. Like, every day's still hard, and I know that sometimes, like, we might make it look like everything is all happy, and it is, but sometimes it's not. And we just want the parents that are going through something similar to this to understand, like, it's okay to be upset. And it's okay to have your bad days. But it's also important to remember to rely on God, and remember that there is a reason for everything, and to just trust Him. And we will kind of take you through that next step tomorrow of what our day was like in Houston. Our first appointment in Houston.
It's a little bit different than the last two, the first 2 weeks that we had to deal with. It's night and day, and what I would consider is a light at the end of the tunnel, almost. It just a sliver of light right at the end of the tunnel. And so yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with, I guess, what you would say would be part 2 of the beginning.
Yeah. So we hope that you will appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you again for that, for watching and everything. And, like we said from the beginning, this video is to help others along. We don't know what we're doing.
No.
So any questions, concerns, all that, let us know. If you're struggling with something, or, feel free to message us, call us, whatever. We're open to try and help you with whatever. So
we truly want to help. And we're an open book, obviously. I mean, we're vlogging this experience, so yeah, don't be afraid to ask us any questions, whether you have a heart baby or not. Like, we truly want to answer whatever you'll have, so y'all let us know, okay? See y'all tomorrow.